It's 36 days to the presidential and parliamentary elections here in Ghana. Hashtag defend media freedom. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, all social media handles, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. This is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. And the headlines are the NDC and MPP engage in aggressive smear campaigns to sway voters on the free SHS policy, and chance reignite debate for a dedicated source of funding for the program. As the latest Afrobarometer reveals, 85% of Ghanaians support the policy. Also, various housing needs and resources on showcase at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. We'll tell you why you should not miss the last day to explore your housing options and be a homeowner.
We are known for the quality of our products, and that is how come someone has been able to use it for 30 years and is still using it. So
I'm taking modern toilet seat, automated one, sensor.
Excited.
Very, very, very excited.
Now, the opposition NDC and the governing MPP over the past weeks have been engaging in an aggressive smear campaign in the media to sway voters regarding their positions on the free SHS policy. It comes in the wake of Afrobarometer's latest survey, which says 85% of Ghanaians support the free SHS policy. Now, the policy has become a cornerstone in Ghana's educational landscape, with its benefits acknowledged across various demographics, including urban and rural communities alike. We'll bring you more details of that Afrobarometer report shortly, but let's take a listen to Director of Research at CDD Ghana, Dr. Adam Selome, who argued the policy is essential for promoting equal opportunities, reducing illiteracy rates, and empowering the youth for a better future.
So we wanted to find out, regardless of who wins the elections, so definitely it's going to be a different person, which of those policies that we know so well should be retained, regardless of who wins the election, right? And as you can see, it's only e-levy that you see almost 8 in 10 Ghanaians saying that should be abolished. Otherwise, free SHS, which tops it all, planting for food and rearing for food and jobs, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, all are policies that Ghanaians say that the next government should retain. Now, this tells a very beautiful story, a story of what national development means. You know, sometimes people feel that Ghanaians wouldn't understand these things, but this tells you that, you know, development should not have any political color. It should be a national development agenda. So regardless of who wins the election, these must be continued. Because that is how development, you know, we see, because if people are educated, if, you know, we have jobs and factories and all of that, people get jobs to do.
But Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, says the overwhelming support for the free SHS policy is not surprising, as surveys in the past have shown similar backing of the policy. While a majority of Ghanaians are in favor of the policy, the survey also cited education as the fourth biggest problem after unemployment, infrastructure, and health, which needs to be addressed by government. Kofi Asare says all the challenges must be solved urgently.
It also tells us that in our discourse, we shouldn't be only interested in the quantity, but also the quality of implementation. Yeah. And also the quality of implementation and then the level of satisfaction. Education is supposed to be a social service. Yeah. Social services, the quality of social services are measured, among others, by the level of satisfaction that the beneficiaries, the consumers of the product, you know, exhibit or manifest. Okay, that's also one way of gauging citizens' appreciation of the social service. So if you have a high number of people, citizens believing that the manner in which education is being delivered requires fixing, to the extent that education being a public requires immediate fixing, is among the top 4 in the Afrobarometer, and attaching 28% for opinion, which is the highest since 2008. The second highest was actually twice less, 14, And it means that, yes, we are happy with a policy called free senior high school. We are happy with the policies in the sector, including free basic education. But the manner in which the policies are being implemented are problematic. So they require immediate fixing.
So it's been an interesting space of time where the political parties have been engaging in those campaigns about who better can implement all of these policies. The CHAS has also been given some recommendations as to what needs to be done. And they have said that if it could be done, the feeding, for example, should be handed over to the heads or the schools themselves to run the program. Well, it's been a debate as to who can better implement the policy. We'll get back to that, bring you more details on that particular story. But away from that, 4 policy recommendations have been identified for the promotion of nature-based solutions in tackling climate change impact on vulnerable communities in Ghana. Use of cover crops and access to technical and financial resources by women in particular are key among the recommendations. Now, Director of Climate Change at the EPA, who serves as chair for Technical Advisory Panel for the Nature-Based Solutions Project, spoke to Joy News at a national dialogue organized by Farm Radio to share information gathered after 2 years of implementation. There's more in the following report.
Nature-Based Solutions is a climate-friendly project spearheaded by Farm Radio International. It aims at addressing the impact of climate change on vulnerable farming communities. The 5-year project tailored towards understanding issues contributing to poor crop yields resulting from poor soil health largely uses community radio platforms to educate and share essential information with local farmers. Rosemond Ohene is the program's manager at Farm Radio International.
So what we hope to achieve is to ensure that we have specific recommendations that can influence some policies within the climate change and the climate change space using nature-based adaptation strategies or nature-based solutions.
At a national dialogue to share information with stakeholders after the first 2 years of the project, the Director of Climate Change at the EPA, who serves as the chairman of the Technical Advisory Panel of the Nature-Based Solution Project, Dr. Intwibu Amwa, told Joy News some key policy recommendations have been identified and require national attention going forward.
The use of cover crops had come up because in the past the discussions has always been agroforestry. But the point that has been highlighted as a policy recommendation in this room is also use cover crops and then strengthen that. We are also looking at one of the policy things that is also coming up is resources, technical and then financial resources that can also enhance delivery on the ground. And then the fourth one has to do with access to information and communication, especially by women.
Women and youth inclusion remain critical to the success of the project. According to research, the two demographics have the potential of positively increasing crop production if given the needed support. Rosemond says the response has so far been positive.
We would say that technology is a challenge, especially within the rural sector. So you may have people who may own radio set or own a mobile phone. However, literacy also plays a role. Some of them are not able to even navigate their way through to even answer some of these questions, unlike when you do a face-to-face survey where you are rather taking in the information.
Farm Radio is a Canadian-based NGO in Ghana, which is working closely with the Ministry of Agriculture to help mitigate the impact of climate change on rural farmers by sharing information on how to improve crop yields using nature-based solutions.
Well, it's not only about lands and houses. All the accessories you need as a homeowner or prospective homeowner are available at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, ongoing at the Accra International Conference Center. Now, there are security locks, experts in flowering, plumbing, gardening, solar installations, and many more, all available for you when you visit the Habitat Fair. Hannah Dami and Abigail Opong Boating were there and have come through this report.
Buying stable power supply is everyone's wish.
paying less for that power adds on to the wish list. G&G is offering buyers at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair their wish.
We provide generators for people that need it. So we try to provide backup power solutions. So we have it for homes, offices, hospitals, whatever it is. We have the capacities that can cater to those places. We are known for the quality of our products. And that is how come someone has been able to use it for 30 years and is still using it. So tomorrow being a weekend, I would advise everyone to take time and pass by and come and see us, come and talk to us, come and talk to me, and we'll do our best to advise you, give you the discounts that you need, and
This is how the bidet comes out, and mostly the bidet is geared towards the women. We have the front and then the rear wash for the women as well. So because we are not currently plugged to a water source, you are not able to see the water actually come out. If I want the bidet to also go in, it just goes in there. Exactly. So it's all about hygiene for us in the washroom.
There's no touching, everything is on the remote.
Everything is on the remote.
And of course, this contractor, Kofi Asamoah, is super excited to be taking home one of these smart toilets.
I need quality things to fill the house, and I heard the fair on Joy, and I believe the brand Joy, so I know that I'll get quality things over here.
Have you gotten the quality things?
More than enough.
So what are you taking home?
I'm taking modern toilet seat.
You bought one, that's awesome.
Automated one.
Sensor.
Sensor.
You're excited.
Very, very, very excited.
Nana Bafuajuman, who visited all the stalls at the fair, left with satisfaction.
I'm just walking away from one particular stand here, for instance, air conditioners, that are 80% solar, for instance, only 20% traditional electricity. Yes, I think that in the era in which we find ourselves, the power crisis which we find ourselves in, yes, it is good for such projects, such products to be exhibited. Yes, so that at least we can drift away from the traditional electricity thing.
For Joy News, I am Hannah Odame.
Have you passed by yet? If you haven't, please do make time for the Habitat Fair tomorrow and on Sunday and get yourself some of the things on display there. I will be there, so please do make a time for it. We'll take a break here on Joy News Prime. We'll be back with more. Please don't go away. Welcome back from the break. Now let's do Election Headquarters, which is brought to you by Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountant, also by the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental, Wellness and Beauty, Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Now, pressmen and women have been allowed exclusive access into 3 facilities responsible for the printing of ballot papers for the upcoming elections as the EC seeks to build public trust. The Electoral Commission says this is part of a sensitization drive to dispel the notion that the ballot papers are printed in secrecy and could be tampered with. The following report has more.
The team was taken to 3 printing houses, namely Back Press, which is responsible for printing ballot papers for the Ashanti, Oti, Central and Savannah regions. InnoLink Printing Press, tasked with the printing of ballot papers for the Greater Accra and North-East regions, and the Act Commercial Limited, in charge of printing ballot papers for the Western North, Upper East and Upper West regions. The Director of Research at the EC, Benjamin Banobio, said the exercise is to ensure transparency.
Today, the Electoral Commission is showcasing to the world that when you say accountability and transparency in motion, we don't just say it, but we mean it. Electoral Commission of Ghana is one of the few election management institutions in the sub-region that prints its ballot papers in the country. And Bulk Press is one of our major stakeholders when it comes to printing of ballots. For the 2024 general election, Bulk Press is printing 4 regions: Ashanti, Oti, Central, and Savannah regions. Their ballot papers are being printed here. We are here to let you know that printing ballots is not done in secrecy.
Deputy Electoral Commissioner in charge of corporate services, Bosman Asari, said the various party agents are also monitoring the process.
And the parties agents themselves can testify that indeed the numbers the EC has given to the parties, that's what we are printing, that's what the printing houses are printing, and that's what EC officials are also checking, and the parties are also checking. And as I indicated, when we finish all the ballots for each constituency together, as far as each region is also concerned, will be bagged, and the parties are going to have their seals on the bags. The EC is also going to have its seals on the bag. So everything is very, very transparent.
All the 3 printing houses visited were only printing parliamentary ballot papers after complying with the Electoral Commission's directive to suspend the printing of the presidential papers following the sudden death of Ghana Freedom Party's flag bearer, Madam Ekuyadonko.
Now, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, is staring into former President John Mahama over what he describes as a resort to insult by his campaign team. According to him, campaigning must be based on issues and projects and not on personal attacks. He has been speaking at MIM as part of his tour of the Ahafo region.
You've all seen that the insults have started. Ashantis have a proverb that a long speech doesn't buy a horse. I want to add that insults don't buy horses. You can insult all you can, but if you will lose this election, you will lose. The reason why the NPP will win this election is due to the amount of work we've done as a government. Today, I have come to see the university we are building here in Ahafo. I've come to inspect the hospital we are building here in MIM, roads, astroturfs, and all the development that we have brought is why you will vote for us. In 2016, we promised Ghanaians that we will implement free SHS if they vote for us. When we said it, the former President Mahama said it was 419, that we will not be able to do it. Then I told him it is possible. He could not envisage how we would do it. But from 2017 to date, about 5.7 million children have benefited from this free SHS policy.
A district on its own. And yes, sir. Ejuma na ye akwaya astrotef na dia bobie dia ba ejuma nti na mo beto abama no enyasa.
Now, he assured that the Hwidiem-Kenyasi road will be asphalted before the elections are held.
Nananom minim se kwaya Hwidiem-Kenyasi kwaya Eda mo akoma so pa meso eda makoma so ene anape yeba na mebisa say contractor no on making sure say before yebe to abana asphalt no eda so straight from and me ho ejuma wa hye ase enche bia I think less than a week we be who say first layer base no na eda ho. Contractor also ordinary asphalt machines no so abedu. Inti mimi wojidie say before I ebe to abadie na eye tum adie bi tum eda ho ema ye nyina inti eno de meso many better super before yem shiase na ye njai nana emba so sa ye be no minim say TVET school no so ewo ho a yenye wie enti me kwa me get fund we will continue that project. Very important, say, mamo. Inti, asema ewo honing na me betna kuniano so anana na uba president of the Republic of Ghana. Inti, yebeye juma bebre.
Independent presidential candidate Nana Kwame Bediako has promised to restore peace in Boko. Recent violence in the area has led to the loss of 16 lives, with the government calling for ceasefire among the feuding factions. On a tour of the north, leader of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, has promised to broker peace among the communities and bring development to the area. There is more in the following report.
Leader of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, and his running mate, Dr. Marian Isaka Krisi, as part of their tour of the northeast and northern regions, made stop at Waliwali, Tolong, and Tamale South constituencies. At Tamale South, Nana Kwame Bediako engaged chiefs and people on the three key agenda of his campaign and commissioned a borehole for the people.
For the new force, we're here for three things: equity, equality, and empowerment.
In Waliwali, the team made some donations to the Waliwali hospital. Speaking to the Boko conflict, Nana Kwame Bediako promised to restore peace in the area if voted into power.
I also want to extend my heartfelt condolence to the people that you have just lost in the misunderstanding. I hope that one day, if I become a leader of this country, is one of the things that I want to be able to bring peace between Boko and Waliwali and all of these places, so there could be a new Ghana, a new people, a new nation, that we understand each other. These elections would be decided by women. Not to say that the men are also not as powerful as women.
On his next stop at Tolong, he donated livestock to some farmers to complement their effort.
First of all, I'd like us to thank the chief of Tolong. Yesterday he received us in the palace, and we told him that this is what we want to do for 5 families in this area, Tolong, because the first time we came to visit the chief, he gave us food. He gave me a guinea fowl and yam, and we ate it, and I said that I will come back to Tolong and I will make sure that they have food and they will have animals and it will grow and they become successful. So I want to thank him.
Nana Kwame Bediako charged the people to vote for him to break the NDC-NPP duopoly and bring development to the area.
We should come together and move them and replace them with a young person who cares about you, who is here for you, who stands for you, who wants to do what you want for you. That is what we need to do. Thank you very much. Let your thumb be your power. Come this 7th December. Use your thumb to replace the people and change your destiny for good. I love you all. Thank you.
The Ghana Federal Freedom Party, GFP, has indicated readiness to participate in the December 7 presidential elections. This follows the sudden demise of the party's presidential candidate, Madam Ekwia Donko. The Electoral Commission, in an official communication on the incident, gave the GFP 10 days to nominate a fresh candidate to replace Madam Ekwia Donko before the printing of the presidential ballot papers. The GFP has this afternoon issued a statement on the matter, and my colleague James Aveji joins with details. He joins via Zoom. Kwesi, what is the party's response to the EC's directive?
Well, Brent, the party said it has taken notice of that directive from the Electoral Commission, and it is doing everything possible to meet the schedules of the EC. The statement continues to say that the party, the leadership of the party, is doing everything to make sure that they fully participate on the December 7 election, which indicates that, there's been a thought about whether they will be nominating a candidate to participate in the election, or they will withdraw entirely from the election. This statement from the party indicates that they will be nominating and fully participate in the election. It ended by assuring all party supporters across the country that leadership is doing everything possible to make sure that the legacy, the values of Madame Ekuador is fully adhered to going into the election. And so all supporters should remain calm as they work to meet the deadline of the Electoral Commission. That's essentially what they've been saying in that press statement, Brace.
Okay, all right. Grateful to you, James Avaji there. Now, this week, the campaign trail was heated with back-to-back trolls and jabs. And guess who joined the trail with some jabs? President Akufo-Addo himself, Prince Kwame Kuduga, has more in the following report, cataloging some of the lighter side of Ghanaian politics ahead of elections in December.
A presidential debate ahead of the 2024 election may never happen, but the issue seemed never to rest. Let's start from the genesis of this whole matter.
I am looking forward to a debate with John Mahama on the economy, on the country, on the governance. But I'm afraid that he's running away from a debate, isn't it? His people say he doesn't want to debate. But he doesn't want to debate because he knows I'll expose the emptiness of his policies. He says he has a 24-hour economy that he cannot explain. It's as empty as an empty barrel. He cannot explain it. None of his people can explain it. They say they will be exporting lions and elephants. But when we meet mano a mano, we can debate, and the country will see where our policies lie.
That was NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but his counterpart John Dramani Mahama disagree.
Their campaign is failing. They have no message. And so he wants to be elevated to my level. No. I know my level.
President Akufo-Addo was not letting John Dramani Mahama off the hook.
Mahama said on your debate ne enyechna. If you say Bawumia enye ni tipen. Hey sir. On your class. Me who class people be you Mahama wo mo Bawumia me who class ko. Ora Mahama also wo class be na yes a class of one. Class of one. I don't know what's our classroom.
Then comes the debate of questions.
Why has he run away from the economy to digitalization? He used to do big about economy. Today he can't mention economy. It's not in his vocabulary. Anytime he opens his mouth, digitalization. Come and talk about the economy. That's question 5. 5 questions. Tell him. You should come and answer them.
But the Bawumia camp was not having any of that. They have had a 50-question rebuttal. Dennis Miracle Sabuaje is the Director of Communications for the Bawumia campaign team.
Who made him the examiner? When we said that he should come for a debate, why didn't he come for that debate? If you want answers to those questions, he should come for a debate. Why is he running away from the debate? You run away from a debate and go and stand on the hinges, and then you ask questions.
And you can't hide behind the debate. You don't need a debate to answer the 5 questions. When you ask Emisata 170 questions, you did not agree to go and debate for him to answer them. Ghanaians are asking you 5 simple questions. Just answer them.
But of course, no matter how old you are, sometimes you still remember your days in elementary school.
You see, when we were in nursery school, we used to learn what they call nursery rhymes. And that one, you just have to learn it by heart. Even when you are sleeping, you should be able to repeat it. So if you remember, ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Then we had Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Prince Kwame Kuduga's report for Joy News.
Well, quite an interesting political campaigning ahead of December elections here in Ghana. We'll take a break here on Joy News Prime. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Now, the spokesperson for the NPP flag bearer, Dennis Miracles Abuaje, has thrown down the gauntlet, challenging former President John Mahama to debate Dr. Mahama Bawumia ahead of the December 7 elections. Former President John Mahama had earlier accused the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, of being unable to answer questions about the government's economic policies. But spokesperson for the NPP campaign says Dr. Bawumia is more capable and ready to defend the government's record and is eager to take on John Mahama in a presidential debate. Nabuachi Yadom has more from the Free SHS Graduate Association campaign in the Ashanti region.
The Free SHS Graduates Association and the First Time Voters Group, led by some Ashanti Regional Party executives of the NPP, engaged traders at the KJTR market in Kumasi. The engagement is to solidify the party's base in the Ashanti region as part of its campaign. Speaking to Joy News, the spokesperson for the Bawumia campaign, Dennis Miracle Abuaje, took time to respond to former President Mahama's questions to the Vice President.
It's very low that a former president will resort to insults in this conversation. I mean, it's okay if you disagree with the Vice President, but do not insult him. Now he tells everybody that it's not an insult, it's an American quotation, no problem. Since when did American slang become part of our conversation? In America, a little girl can look in your face and say, what the hell? In Ghana, it's an insult. So it's not everything that is said in the USA that becomes courteous for us to use in this country. But if he says it's not an insult, then let me help him. The former president should understand that this economy is better than his economy. And that is why all the teachers he left at home without employing have been employed under this economy. This economy that he says is in a mess is a messy economy that is able to pay every single teacher that works. He left them at home. They worked for 12 months and he paid them for only 3 months. This economy is able to buy fuel to power the generators. He was unable to buy fuel to power the generators. This economy is able to pay allowances for teachers and nurses. His economy was unable to do that. It is about the economy, stupid. Mahama should know that.
According to him, the NDC flag bearer's return to power is to destroy the work done by the Akufo-Addo government, including the free senior high school policy.
And there is only one way to protect free senior high school, that is to vote for Dr. Mahama Bawumia as president. The former president and his party, the NDC, have given a clear indication that they are going to cancel the free senior high school. In fact, what they have told her is that even if they do not cancel the free senior high school, they are going to do what we call the mean testing. And the mean testing is where they are going to segregate who pays and who doesn't pay. And that will be the beginning of troubles for the poor person in this country. The free senior high school is the only policy that is opening doors and opening ways for the Ghanaian poor, irrespective of where you find yourself in this country. And we are all going to work together to ensure that we do not allow anybody to come and destroy the free senior high school.
Deputy CEO for Maslog and patron for the Free SHS Graduates Association, Obidumbi Kwabena Asamoah, highlighted the vision of the NPP to help transform the educational sector.
Education is the great equalizer. Everybody aspires for social mobility. How do you embank on social mobility without education? So if somebody gives you education, that person is absolutely interested in you. That person cares about you. That person wants you to have a great future. And that is what the NPP administration under Dr. Mahama Bawumia and Dr. Matthew Poku have done. So we the young people, were out here, and all we're saying to our mothers, to the people of Ghana, is that when you vote on December 7th, you are not just voting for the NPP, you are voting for your children. When you go into that ballot box, we, the Free SHS Graduates Coalition, want you to remember Free SHS, and we want you to remember that when you vote for Dr. Mahama Bawumia at number 1, you are voting for us, your children.
For Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwe Yadom, Kumasi.
The National Democratic Congress says markets in part of the country are earmarked to be robed under its 24-hour economic policy if it regains power after December 7. Party leaders explain the KJTR market in Kumasi will be a module for the policy rollout. They say the NDC manifesto promised to modernize some markets will make them conducive for the policy implementation. Anaya Ojima has more in the following report.
The KJTR market in Kumasi is arguably
the biggest market center in the country, with thousands of shops occupied for trade. The market, despite its busy nature, shuts at 6 p.m., forcing all traders to close for the day. But the NDC, if successful in the upcoming election, intends to put operations at the market under the 24-hour economy policy for economic growth. Head of Communications Department at the Presidential Campaign Secretariat of the NDC in Kumasi, Alexander Asafueji, explains.
As we speak, KJTR closes at 5, and you have hairdressers, you have kente sellers. Some are willing to work beyond that time, and so as with the 24-hour initiative, we are going to extend the time. Kumasi is going to be live within the entire 24 hours. When we say 24-hour economy, we are not saying the people themselves are going to work for 24 hours. It is the economy. It is the economy. It is the marketplace that is supposed to run for 24 hours. And so the people within it can only run shift. You understand? So, for instance, you see my mother here. She can come to work maybe till maybe 4 or 5, maybe get another person to come and replace her. It's in Dubai. It's in New York. It's in the UK. And when we talk about 24-hour economy, we are not saying the entire Ashanti region is going to work for 24 hours. What it essentially means is that some parts, the central business district, those parts, especially Bantama now is running virtually a 24-hour economy there. Those are the places that are going to be live.
The NDC's manifesto says the 24-hour economy is a deliberate policy intervention to stimulate economic growth by creating an enabling environment for businesses to operate throughout the day. According to the NDC, security, uninterrupted power supply, and tax waivers will be incentives for smooth running of the policy.
So we are going to not just station security people here, but police visibility, which started during our time. You have them maybe within a certain range, maybe every 100 meters you see police people on their motorbikes and all of those things. We started the national CCTV coverage that you see in town, that white, this thing that you see in town. It was John Mahama's initiative.
And that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Coming up next here is the Prime Business with Pius Kojo Baka. Thanks for your time. Do have a pleasant evening.